tonight, Kevin Durant, the former Brooklyn Net, the former Golden State Warrior, the former OKC Thunder, he and the Seattle Supersonics. Remember that? He was drafted there. That's how long he's been around.
Yeah.
But he makes his debut coming off an injury and makes his debut with the Phoenix Suns. And he was injured with the Nets. Remember, the Nets had won 18 out of 21, Andy, before he got hurt, and then all hell broke loose.
Sure did.
So here we go, Andy. I think there's a ton of pressure on Kevin Durant because when you add him to the roster that they already have in Phoenix, right? Mm-hmm. Chris Paul, Ayton, Booker. They, on paper, Andy, shouldn't they be the favorites to come out of the West and go to the finals?
You know, and everybody's laying them to be the favorites. Although they're 10 games out of first, Denver's rolling along right now with only 19 losses. But I will tell you this. I hear what you're saying. You know, the pressure. You know what the pressure's on? The pressure's on management who made the trade. That's the pressure because they made the move. I don't think the pressure's that much on Kevin Durant. Sure, he'd love to win, but he's the kind of guy that will point fingers telling you why they didn't win. That's the problem. And I got to look. Let me just say that. I got a problem. One of the best, if not the best scorer in NBA history. He's tremendous, averaging just a shade under 30 points a game. Does he play every day? No. Is he getting, lean in the tooth? Yeah, he's getting a little older. But my problem is not his physical ability. I think it's between the ears with him. Can he work on the court with a guy like Chris Paul and Devin Booker? Who's going to be the go-to guy now? Really and truly. Devin Booker was averaging like 27 a game. He's like the go-to guy. Now all of a sudden, KD's going to be the go-to guy.
KD should be the go-to guy because Devin Booker had his chance. They were up 2-0 in that finals. Do you remember that finals that they choked down to Milwaukee? I mean, Durant was finals MVP twice on a team with Steph Curry. So it ain't any question who will be getting a big shot in the big moment. I think it's Kevin Durant, and that's why I think there's pressure. Because when he went to Golden State, they had already won a championship without him. Obviously, he couldn't get it done in Brooklyn, but there were a lot of issues. It wasn't because Kevin Durant couldn't deliver. The team was banged up and hurt and all kind of missing pieces. So that was never the issue there. He almost beat Milwaukee the year that they won the NBA Finals. You remember that, Andy? He stepped on the line. Now, he had a game-winning three that would have won that and knocked Milwaukee out. Milwaukee survived that and wound up winning the NBA Finals. But here, you got a band of Suns who were up 2-0 in the NBA Finals and couldn't get it done. They already went to the finals without Kevin Durant. It's about winning it, and that's where the pressure comes in. If Kevin Durant shows up and they can't win, this ain't no 5-year plan, Andy. There's no such thing anymore in sports.
I agree. It's
this is
now or never.
Add Kevin Durant, add water, stir, and get a championship.
But here's the deal. I hear what you're saying, and they brought in KD to be the number one option, okay? And now Booker moves now as the team's second option. I get it, and that's on paper. That's great. But can Booker live with that? That's the problem. Can he handle it? A lot of guys can't handle it. That's what I'm saying.
He should be able to handle it because I just think when you're acquiescing, and you know this, Andy, to a guy who you know is one of the all-time greats, it's a lot easier for guys to do that. If it was a guy on par with Booker, right, around the same age, kind of had the same career at that point, it's harder. I remember when AI, Allen Iverson, came to the Pistons, and Rip Hamilton had won a championship with the Pistons, and they wanted Rip Hamilton to come off the bench and start AI. And Rip Hamilton had his feelings hurt and really wasn't trying to hear that because he's like, I won a championship, right? I won a championship for you. Why are we acquiescing to this guy who's a great player but has never won anything? And that's where you get in. But in the case of Kevin Durant in Phoenix and with the Suns and Devin Booker, I don't know how Devin Booker could look and go, no, I'm not. I'm the guy. I'm not Kevin Durant. No, Kevin Durant is that guy.
There's no doubt.
That's why I think the added pressure's on him because if this is a flop or this doesn't work, then you say to yourself, well, he did win those 2 championships, but was it because he was with the Warriors and had a stacked deck? And now you have a stacked deck and have to be the leader of the team and you can't get it done.
Right, but here's the thing. You would agree, not only in the NBA or in this team, but in sports in general, egos are probably more important than individual talent. You have to have them meshing. I think the pressure, maybe on Durant, to some extent it might be, because people have always said that he jumped onto Golden State to win a ring, and they would have won the ring without him, perhaps, all right? But now you got a guy in Booker, you got a guy here in Durant. We'll see what happens there. And I think the pressure is more so on the coach if he could mold these guys to play together. That's the pressure right there. Can he get that done? Look, they're in a bit of a hole. They're like in fourth place in the West right now, and there's only about 20-some-odd games left to go.
I get it. On paper, though, if you're Las Vegas, they got to be the favorites coming out of the West. And I get what other teams are doing. Denver's really good. They're finally healthy. The Joker's having another MVP season. We get all that. We understand what the Sacramento Kings have done, Andy. And they're not going away. You know, you saw that 1980 style game they beat the Clippers, right? What was that, 176 to 175?
Right.
I thought Doug Moe was coaching, like what was that?
It's funny. I don't think Mike Brown's getting the accolades he deserves coaching Sacramento.
I agree. He's done some job.
Yeah.
He's really done some job with them, which is incredible. But I still think it falls on Kevin Durant. I really believe that this is one of those, because when Kevin Durant went to Brooklyn, that was the whole idea. If he could lead that franchise, which had never won, to a championship, you elevate yourself. Andy, if you come in and you pick up the team with the 3 stars that they have, and last time they were in the finals a couple years ago, they were up 2-0 and then got swept the next 4. And if Kevin Durant is able to rally these guys, get them to the championship and win, then he'd have 3 championships. He'd won with 2 different teams,
right,
and will be looked at, especially if he's the finals MVP again, you say, this dude is the real deal. This is one of those moments for Kevin Durant. So there is some pressure, because you remember the last time we saw him in the playoffs.
You hit on something really good over there. There's pressure for his legacy. Yes. There isn't pressure for the Phoenix Suns as much as there's pressure for Kevin Durant and his legacy. And let's remember one thing. This guy is somewhat fragile. Let's hope he plays all the way through now.
No, there's no doubt about it. He has been banged up. 877-99 on Fox is the telephone number, 877-996-6369. How much pressure is on Kevin Durant to win a title this season with Phoenix? We'll continue that conversation with you next.
Mark in Sacramento, you're on The Odd Couple on Fox Sports Radio. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Andy, how you doing? What's going on, Rob?
Everything's good.
How are you, Mark?
Good.
All good.
Doing well. I think there's an enormous amount of pressure on him based on him leaving Russ and getting to Golden State. We knew what happened there. Then engineering his way out of Golden State with Kyrie to go to Brooklyn, then signing the extension, then engineering his way out of Brooklyn to Phoenix. Yes, he's got a lot of pressure to win. Hell yeah.
No, wait a minute. Wait just a second. Why is there more pressure now to win in midseason in Phoenix when there wasn't that much pressure in Brooklyn when they thought he'd win it in Brooklyn? I thought there'd be more pressure in Brooklyn.
Andy, they had other issues.
Because he forced the trade, and now it's up to him to do it. He forced the trade out of there. They built that thing in Brooklyn, then they blew it up. Yes, the pressure's on him to win where he's going now.
They blamed it on the coach in Brooklyn. He lost his job, right?
Yeah, and what? And guess what? They were way better when they got rid of him, Steve Nash. They won 18 out of 21.
Jacques Vaughn's the man. He really is. All right.
He really has coached that team really well. 877-99 on Fox.
Gary in H-Town in Houston, you're on The Odd Couple on Fox Sports Radio. Hello, Gary.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of pressure on him, but I think he should welcome it because, this team fits him much better than the Nets team did after Harden. And so, he's kind of hurt his stature in the league because he couldn't win with the Nets. If he can win with Phoenix, it'll be obvious he's so good that he's the best player in the world. So I think he's a welcome.
Well, I mean, that would be on the table if he's convincing and they win a championship, Andy, and he's the finals MVP and he balls out like he did for the Warriors, you remember? I mean, it would be one of those moments, and it would elevate him. This is a moment
I think it would be
career.
amazing. If they get out of the West, it would be amazing. I don't think they could beat Boston or Milwaukee. I really don't.
877-99 on Fox.
MJ in New Orleans. You're on The Odd Couple right here on Fox Sports Radio. Hello, MJ.
Hello, what's going on? Congratulations, Professor Rob Jedediah Parker on Major League, MLB Bro?
MLBBro.com. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. The pressure is on the new owner, the GM, and Coach Monty Williams. Speaking of Coach Monty Williams, he got out-coached by Coach Bud, whose firing statement was already drawn up. KD has already slain the dragon, the so-called king, LeBron James, on his watch. It's not guaranteed that they'll win, and let's not forget CP3 is a few ticks below AD on the injured list. It may be because of all the insurance commercials with CP3 now. And if they do win this paper championship, they'll be the first team to win the on-paper championship, right?
Well, but that's the way you look at it going in. I mean, we talk about that for everybody. On paper, who should win? We do that at the start of every season when you look on paper. But that doesn't mean they're going to win. I just think there's more pressure on Kevin Durant to try to win. He's got 3 stars in place to join. Most people don't have that. That's what he had when he went to Golden State, and he made it work, and he won 2 championships.
Yeah. I love what MJ said. The pressure's on the coach, too. I mean, you got to pressure there. I mean, you got to get these guys working together, and that's gonna be tough. I'm telling you. I mean, with Devin Booker to be pushed to the side as a number 2 option. Look, he should be, and maybe in his mind he knows he's not going to be the number 1 option anymore. Nor should he be, because KD is a Hall of Famer and he's the man, and that's why they brought him in there. But egos have a funny way of raising their ugly head at times. Really, we'll see what happens, right?
No doubt. 877-99 on Fox. Kevin Durant, get in if you want.
All right, Drew in New Jersey. You're on The Odd Couple right here on Fox Sports Radio. Hello, Drew.
Hey, guys. I think Kevin Durant definitely has immense pressure. I think if he doesn't win it, I think all the defense that he has or all benefit, that doubt will go away. And
you say if he wins if he wins, the doubt will go away about him?
If he wins?
Yeah, what are you saying? I don't understand what you're saying.
No, I'm saying if he wins, all the championships that he won in Golden State are validated. If he doesn't, then there's
No, there would be you would be open to question him. You could do whatever you want. He was the MVP of both. I'm not going to say that he didn't earn them or poo-poo them, but it definitely, Drew, with this lineup that he has in this roster, with the other 3 stars that were able to, be kept with the trade, and you added Kevin Durant, a healthy Kevin Durant. We'll see. He's been hurt a lot.
This is not the same Phoenix team, though. This is a different Phoenix
not.
team.
No. They're not as deep as they were before. So I agree with that.
But let me just interject this. And I'm not just trying to throw oil on here, but I'm just saying that I think it's a bad move to decide a guy's legacy on 1 year and 1 series if he doesn't win it. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. I got backed that up. And you got to know your history, okay? In anything in life, you have to look back in history. History, in politics, anything, okay? I'm going back history in the NBA. Jerry West, who is the face right now of the league, good, better, and different, but he lost to the Celtics 9 out of 10 times, okay? Does that mean he's bad? He's not a Hall of Famer? Legacy is not created on one situation, be it finals or whatever. It's longevity. And certainly, if KD loses, he'll still be regarded as one of the greatest scorers ever in the NBA.
I don't disagree with that, but that doesn't mean that people will say, well, when he didn't have the loaded, like he couldn't lead a team, whereas Phoenix, because the difference is the Warriors had already won before he got there. Phoenix hasn't won. They've never won a championship in their franchise history. That's why it's so huge for Kevin Durant. The same way he was going to get so many brownie points had he taken a downtrodden Nets franchise that had never won, in the NBA. Not the ABA, in the NBA. So that's why those things you get extra points, Andy. And no one's going to say he wasn't a great player because he didn't win in Phoenix or he didn't win in Brooklyn. It's more about adding to the legacy that's already there.
Agreed. Let's get one more in here. Brandon in Riverside. You're on The Odd Couple on Fox Sports Radio. Hello, Brandon.
Hey, how you guys doing, man? I love the show.
Thank you, buddy.
2 Hall of Famers.
Man, you know what? That's right. Andy Furman, a Hall of Famer.
Stickball Hall of Fame, New York City.
I'm a Hall of Famer, high school. And then Chris once mopped the hall. Remember that? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I do. I remember that all the time. So, Kevin Durant, I mean, it's pressure. He has to have the pressure, especially understanding it didn't work out in Brooklyn, and he was one toenail away from winning the whole thing that year.
Yep.
But when you still want to get out of a situation like that with that type of contract and moving assets and trades and trade value like that, and the type of player that he is, we're quick to always say that he's top 10 and everything. So he has to live up with the pressure now. He has pressure. The Suns are a great organization, a great basketball team, great players. We know Chris Paul, he's at the back end of his career.
Right.
But Booker is great. You know, that guy, he know how to put points up. So
yep. So there is pressure. No doubt about it. I totally agree.